Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, our Moments with God, where I share with you my simple and humble reflections on the daily Mass readings and on the lives of the saints, giving you more information so that your and my faith in what we believe and how we want to progress in our spiritual life may help us. And if you would like to subscribe to this channel, you may please do it now and also share the video with others so that others also take advantage of it. Today you see I have come in this working kind of t-shirt and standing here in front of an apple tree, and I suppose you can still see some apple hanging there, and it could be an apple tree, it could be a vineyard, or it could be a place where people go to work, and that's why I have taken a kind of a t-shirt that matches to the workers t-shirt. And why I have done that is because today the gospel is a very interesting gospel. As I always say, gospels are always very interesting, where this owner of the vineyard hires workers in the vineyard. And Jesus is giving this parable that this man went out and saw that the workers were there, and he employed them, and he agreed to pay them 1 dinar or a certain amount, let us say, for the end in the end of the day for their work. Then he went after 3 hours and found that there were still workers who did not have jobs. So he told them, okay, you go and work in my farm and I will pay you what is right for you. Then after a few hours again he went and still found some people who were jobless. So he employed them also in his farm. And then at the 11th hour again he went out when it was only 1 hour left for work, and he found some people still without a job, and he asked them, why are you standing here the whole day doing nothing? They said, because nobody has hired us. So he said, okay, you also go and work in my vineyard and I will pay you what is the right amount in the end of the day. And very interesting parable actually. So when the day was over, he called his manager to start giving money to the people that he had hired, starting with the last one. So those who were hired at 11th hour, and he gave them 1 dinar, which is they agreed upon for all the days wages. So naturally those who came early in the morning, they were expecting more, because those who came last got 1 dinar or certain amount. Then they thought, naturally, these people who have worked only 1 hour and we have worked 8 hours, we will get more. But they also got the same amount. And I think it is quite natural for those people to react that they did not get the amount that they had, as compared to what people who had worked less. So they should get 8 hours, means 8 dinar they should get, since those who worked only 1 hour got 1 dinar. But this man says, and this is a very deep meaning behind this parable. So he first tells them, did I not agree with you for 1 dinar? So how am I being unjust to you? I had agreed with you for 1 dinar. You take your dinar and go. If I want to give more to somebody else, what is that got to do with you? Why are you getting upset with that? Now, before I go further, let me very quickly tell you that until I was sitting in the scripture classes, very late actually as a seminarian, I also used to think this parable, doesn't sound quite right. Actually, this man is doing injustice to the people who have worked the whole day. They are getting the same amount as those who came late and got the same amount. But when the scripture professor explained to us what the meaning of this parable is, then suddenly my eyes opened. The parable is actually about the generosity of God with all the people, without being unjust to anybody. So God is always loving, generous, merciful to everybody. Of course, according to many passages in the gospel, Jesus says that he is particularly more generous to the poor, the oppressed, and the sinners. But in this particular case, he tells them very nicely, see, I had agreed with you, or you had agreed with me for 1 dinar of the wages for the end of the day, and I'm giving you that. Now, if I want to be generous to more people, why are you troubled? And this is how God deals with people. That means God is always generous. It was not the fault of those people that they did not get employment. They wanted to work, but nobody hired them. It is not that God is being generous to lazy people or those who are drunkards and those who are not wasting their time and spoiling things for others, that God is generous to them. No, eventually he may be generous even to them. That is up to God, and we are no one to question that. That is the meaning of the parable. And I think it is very important for us to understand the deeper meaning of it, that God's generosity has no limits, that God's love is unconditional. And through different parables and different stories and different actions of Jesus, Jesus is trying to constantly convince people of this fundamental truth of God's generosity, of God's love, of God's forgiveness, of God's mercy. And all that Jesus wants from us and expects us to do is simply take this generosity of God and accept it. And if you would like to subscribe to this channel, you may please do it now. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.